Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen news, this time for the week ending the 26th of February. We take the official Star Citizen infos from the week and condense it down into easily manageable spammy slices. Delicious spammy slices. But also, this is coming a little bit early, I suppose, than it would normally, because ATV was actually quite extensive, a little bit from a technical standpoint. There was a lot in there. Thank God they're doing those studio updates so awesomely. But also, some of the news will be broken down into separate videos, like the Hurricane concept sale, and some bits and pieces for that and character art things, but we'll talk about that in a second. The Hurricane concept sale from Friday the 24th of February till Monday the 6th of March. The Anvil Hurricane will be available on concept sale for the introductory price of $175 excluding taxes. It will also have lifetime insurance and a couple of pieces of hanger flare as well during that time. It was developed in lore for the Second Tavaran War, so it's an older fighter, it's a two-seater that puts a heavy focus on firepower, and has been described as a glass cannon. Now, we'll know a bit more as soon as that concept sale goes live, and this ship may suit some players who want to focus on lots of guns and a second crew person position as well. Check out my ship buyer's guide on the Hurricane concept sale for all of the details, specs and comparisons, which will be coming shortly. I'll put a link in the description and all that sort of jazz as well. But the concept for it looks pretty cool. It's got some missiles. It's got lots of what appear to be possibly size 2 or 3 guns. Looks like 2 size 3s at the front and 4 size 2s on the turret at the back. But we all have to wait and see exactly what that ship brings. I will not be trading my Sabre for one though, unless it's particularly amazing. Also, check out the updated schedule report at robertspaceindustriescom/schedule report. So, in Citizens of the Stars, this is a little thing they do every week that highlights the community. It's very much worth watching if you are into seeing who is a community streamer or YouTuber. It's worth watching, as well as cool stuff that's been made in the verse. But there was literally a little tiny thing about 3.0 they talked about there. They've been working on a character called Luca Brunt, who runs the racing parlour in Grimhex, and he's going to help you place bets, as well as maybe have some racing missions for you to do in 3.0 once that goes live. So check out Citizens of the Stars. It's done every week. I'll put a link in the description for that as well. Around the Verse. Now, Around the Verse was very in-depth from the studio update this week, and I will go over that, some of the cool points there. They are working on a new damage system. Some ships are already using it. It creates organic effects for damage via procedurally generated material, internal gubbins, and the skeleton of the ship. Working on physics-driven destructibles, props, and their behaviours to Item System 2.0, as well as their improving networking persistence and the FX optimization. They've been implementing facial idols for pilots in all ships, so no more blank stares out of the ships when people are looking at you through the MISC Starfare or whatever, when you just see their dead eyes. They have developed a tool for marking up zones, but they use for the by the renderer to correctly show and layer different areas of character meshes with pieces of clothing or armor worn, so that you actually have a layered clothes system that doesn't clip through, and that your layers of clothing matter visually. They are able to automatically zone and split any number of assets regardless of topology and implement them into their zone culling feature for their extensive database of character art. They don't need to manually update all this stuff that they've improved, basically. It can be done automatically. They have prototyped an interaction system, in fact, which is an interface by which players would be able to manipulate various objects in the world. They showed a small radar device here, which could be moved around, as well as placed in drawers and moved around and activated and actually operated as some form of radar. The second prototype they did there as well was how the player controls the properties of items, specifically ship items here, to manage their signals generated by entities like spaceships, from power to shields to weapons and thrusters, all of that kind of managed outputs, emissions, heat, power consumption, all that sort of stuff. It allows them to change the numbers for these items in a controlled way so that they can do balance significantly more easily, and they can actually see the outputs of everything, and they can get a much quicker feel for balance and how items are interacting with each other. Lots of work has been done with Cutlass Black, Buccaneer, and Aurora's rework, as well as another ship that they can't discuss yet. I'm actually very much looking forward to that Aurora rework now. The ship stat page is being updated as well to the most current specs, and they will be regularly updating those stats to mirror changes now too, too. But it looks like a whole host of other information will be there, including fuel information, how many stations that can be interacted with on the ship, beds, and even the full ship sizes are going to be put on there as well. They've been working on instance properties, allowing designers to modify parts of an entity component in-game. This saves a lot of time and space from their point of view, and allows for a lot more variations for these entities. For the radar, they've added a timer value to specify how much time an entity can remain as a contact on a radar, and also the ability to make anything radar detectable should they choose to. And they've added object databank linking and unlinking features, so entities can inherit databank entries. This basically allows a player to inherit information from a ship that they are using or sitting in. And that's an example of that usage. There's a new scanner gameplay stuff for the radar, so you can reveal more or hidden information on the radar or on scanned objects. They're adding that in. Lighting states as well are being updated, giving more context for space stations, ship interiors, and environments. They now use light groups to organically control lighting changes. It feels much more natural rather than like a harsh, sharp change. Object container streaming. They're working towards seamless transitions in-game, and the object container streaming system is incredibly important to that. It will allow them to have highly detailed areas and objects without sacrificing performance. This is different from the room system. The room system handles pressure and literally says, this is a container, this can contain oxygen, environmental hazards, pressure, all that sort of stuff. The object container streaming is much more a performance thing. The idea being that it streams in objects and the area that is relevant to you in an optimized fashion. They are replacing the old prefab system in the hangars and shops with an object container, so we should be able to see that in the near future, exactly how that works. Outfits and armor. The deck crew outfit is in its high poly modeling phase and looks pretty cool, as does the Explorer spacesuit that they've been talking about recently. They're finalising texturing on it and moving it into testing in-game. They've been working on the new heavy outlaw armor. It's going to move into its high poly modelling phase after feedback and alterations are done on its low poly version. It looks absolutely amazing. This is my favourite armour by far, and I hope it looks very similar to what they just showed. The heavy marine armour is in engine as well now, and it's heading over to rigging for the final implementation of that. Happy Hour, formerly Reverse the Verse, this week is with character art director Josh Herman. They're creating a new concept of a creature live there, and going to have direct input from us, the backers. That's at 12 p.m. PST, and is over at twitch.tv/CIG community. So check that out if that hasn't already happened. February is going to have a subscriber town hall as well that discusses flight balance changes, and that's going to have lead tech designer John Crew and ship balance designer Andrew Nicholson, and that's going to be next week. So check that out on Spectrum, on the forums there, that subscribers can pose questions for that sort of stuff. Flight balance is incredibly important. 2.6.1, I'm not enjoying the flight balance, so I will be putting some difficult questions to them, or hopefully getting some input in there as well. 10 for the Chairman, which is coming soon, is going to be with Chris Roberts and Tony Zurovic, and they're going to be discussing professions in Alpha 3.0. This is going to be huge for people that are into game mechanics. They are specially emphasising cargo and mining, and it does look, therefore, that mining will be in 3.0, or at least hopefully. And that's kind of it for the news this week. I will have a episode of the Ship Buyer's Guide going out for the Anvil Hurricane as soon as that concept goes live. We will do a news update almost certainly early next week, because based on what happens on Happy Hour, and if there's anything cool in the newsletter, if there's a little sneaky peeky in there that's cool, that's not hurricane based, we'll do all that as well. And there's lots of other stuff to get through that wasn't part of the main kind of Star Citizen official news. Anyway, guys, please don't forget to like and subscribe. It really does help me. Tell me what you think. If you've got any questions you'd like to ask, seeing I'm a subscriber, for the Town Hall or the 10 for the Chairman, you can drop them in the chat below. I'll probably steal some of the good ones. That'll be good. And your comments, they can win you a ship each month. Commenting on any of our Star Citizen videos during a given month gives you a chance to win a ship. For February, that's an Avenger Titan. Again, check out the description below for more information on details of our giveaways, as well as previous winners. Thanks very much, guys. Love your faces. Take care. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you in the verse.